July 18th, still, midday. I, meditated. What did I focus on? Just focus on the day, the events of the day, what needed to unfold. I already knew, so I was just getting confirmation. And so I asked, got the movement, and I bought these new oracle cards. I don't know if I shared them. They're beautiful. Oh my gosh. They're graphic art, and I had been eyeing them. MJ used them for the first time a while back, and I had been eyeing them. I'm like, I want that. I finally got it. I'm so glad I did, because I've been really enjoying the art. But even the messages are interesting. So I was going about just getting clarification, right? That was the thing I was from the dreams. And for the most part, yeah, it was being confirmed. It was being confirmed, just that emotional experience, right? We're all at different places. But the feeling that I got through the meditative asking was still this element of like, when you sway to one extreme, it's still not balanced, right? Regardless of what extreme it is. So I'm like, okay, just thinking about like the experiences, right? The sexual experiences, too many toys, right? Versus being completely and being open to that exploration versus completely closed off, right? Are the two extremes. So I asked, I asked if I could share. Yes. I was like, okay. And I was getting done with just confirming the activities for the day. And then I do my shuffle using the oracle card, the new ones. And so the two cards that came out, or the one card and then the upside down, or the bottom of the deck, what the round and round. And I knew, I was like, oh, it's cycles. And then the second card was not for you. And so I read it, and then I was just like, it basically just saying the cycle will repeat itself. You'll just always be in a different spot, right? Depending on your level of awareness. So if you're aware of it, then your chances of shifting that cycle to a new cycle, a new experience will be higher than if you're not aware and you're just, why me? This feeling of stuckness. So that prompted, I was like, oh snap, I didn't ask. The question that I wanted to ask was, can I buy myself a toy? So I asked and the answer was no. So I was like, okay. I'm like, okay. And then realizing, really, like, I don't have the same level of urges. Like, I don't. Am I starting the cycle again with my daily habits and being more mindful, right, of my health and exercise? Yes, being aware, right? It's all about awareness and just, okay, this is a tendency of mine, right? Making sure I make the adjustments so that I'm not repeating the same cycle over and over again. Okay, so I know certain things about myself. I know, certain activities will kind of, get my heart pumping. Okay, so there's that. But it made me think, so then I asked, and it wasn't like, because again, I don't need it every day or more often than not during the week like I used to. There was definitely more of that need before, and that's not the case anymore, so I'm grateful for that. So then it makes sense. I don't need this tool because I don't have a need for it. But then I was curious. I was like, will I ever buy a toy again? Yeah, I'm like, okay. Will it be with a partner? And I said, yeah. I'm like, okay, that's good for me. I can move on with my life. you know, it's not gonna hold me back from enjoying my life, really, right? I feel like everything else has been very much more balanced than it's ever been. So I'm grateful. So that it was at the very end, I was like, oh, that's right, I was gonna ask about that. Completely forgot. There's something else. What was it? Oh, just so I still listen to tarot, you know, like I do it more so now for entertainment purposes. I think the only one that's still consistent is MJ in the mornings. Even though, again, it's sometimes it's more so a hit or miss now. But I'll listen to Allie's. It's fascinating how I'm seeing the unfolding of when they do the reading, when they post it, my personal experiences, and then the following week, right? Because they title it's for the following week. It's just how I see it in my mind. It's fascinating. It's fascinating to watch. And at the same time experience, because what they speak about, it's like immediately what happened for me the day before, but then because it's a reading for the following week, in my mind I'm like, it's the momentum for the rest of the week, right? And so then when I go back and read it the following week, when it's actually supposedly unfolding, it's funny how the cycle repeats itself. And sometimes it's still about the same thing, but or it's something else, and then you're like, that's what that meant. And it's just mind-blowing how energy, the potential of energy and the buildup and the momentum and how we carry it through. And that's just a cycle within a week span, right? That's not to mention the cycle then that repeats again, that I picked up on. At least for me, right? Where you know, how I've mentioned that sometimes I'll listen to 6 months ago and then see it still unfolding even now. So it's interesting because MJ posted a video on the air, earth, and water, and fire reading for this week. Everything she's highlighting, it's what's going to unfold in my videos, right? Depending on the signs. So because I'm more air, I usually listen to air and then my north node. And it's funny, lately she's been more recently saying it could also be your north node. I'm picking up on your north node for people, right, who watch. I'm like, I've been doing that for a while. So just, there's this feeling of like, I mean, yeah, is it an ego stroke? Yeah, like, Yubi picked it up before. I'm like, okay, good. that helps my ego. That I was able to pick it up a lot faster, right? And so, you know, she's experienced. She's definitely more experienced in the whole tarot world, more so than I am. Like, I can read tarot, but again, it's more for me that I pick up the storyline for, because, you know, I'm used to me. And I think that's another reason why I'm not as hung up on what the general ratings, because I do my own. So I know my storyline. But it was just interesting to hear her share about what's going to happen, like for the mid-month ones. And then me knowing like the videos that are getting ready to post for the rest of this month. And then being, so the videos that are getting ready to post, it's the beginning of the new year. So it's January, and that's when his energy comes back in my dreams, and this awareness that you know, his energy is back. It's just in my dreams, and this awareness, this knowing of what's being disclosed, what's being shared, right? but it's matching her storyline or what she's describing. I'm like, yeah, well, that happened, but in my past timeline, right? But then she adds on that second piece to it, which is the dream that I just had recently, a few days ago, about, but it's all dreams. That's the thing. Like, is it going to happen in real life? I don't know. But it already happened in my dreams. And just still being fascinated about how that, the truth in the unfolding of the details of the events, but for me it's at an energetic level. It's not 3D related. I think it's what I find the most fascinating. Or at least it hasn't officially crossed over. It really has been more energetic in my dream state. So she talks about like like meeting at a mutual friend's event, like just the recent dreams that I had of him. She's highlighting it again. I'm just like, and that was in the same reading. So it was that she combined what's coming up in my you know, the story, just the storyline. It's just the storyline. And just it just reminded me of the client of mine that who started watching MJ also, and how she mentioned like, oh, she's saying that someone from my past is coming, but she had just finished sharing with me having a dream of this person coming back. And so then I said it already happened. It just happened in your dreams. And she's just like, what? And I'm like, yeah, you just explained that this person from your past showed up in your dreams. And then MJ talks about it. And I'm like, it already happened. It just happened at an energetic level. She had a hard time sitting with it. But just to hear her story and match it to my experience, I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, how many people, right, are missing out on that experience? But then also knowing that the dream state, Charlie Morley said this, that the dream state back in the day, the nightmares that we had was to prepare, like cavemen, was to prepare for a potential attack. So if they had nightmares of being attacked by a saber-toothed tiger, right, it was to prepare them for a future attack. And so again, this almost precog type of experience for each individual person, right? And it's this, when you learn to listen, it's preparing you. It's preparing you. So, for example, I asked about, I'll share that one. One of the dreams that I had was the break-in. And I asked about that. And I asked, would it happen here in this setting? No. I said, will it happen in my next, wherever I move to? Yes. Okay. And so there's this awareness of like, my dream was preparing me for what is to come. And so it's or at least that particular dream, right? Not all dreams, because some of them are just for healing, but it was giving me the experience of a break-in, even though I already had a whiff of it, because I've already had someone break into our stuff before, and then, you know, break into my car. But into my home was something new. And that dream that I had, again, just preparing. So it really relieves, because I know how to listen. It's not like I'm feeding into the fear. It's more of like, okay, I'm listening. And so then what am I going to do? I'm going to prepare myself for it. Instead of feed into the anxiety, I'm going to empower myself using this awareness. So anyway, so there's that. How did I get into that? Oh, dreams preparing you. Some are healing. There's something else I wanted to share. I don't remember. Dang it. Oh, a friend of mine made a comment to me recently, and she said, you know, Yubi, the videos of you when you first started this journey, like just noticing the shift, right? And then even realizing, she's just like, I'm not completely caught up. But sometimes, because she follows me, the new one will always pop up first. So she's just like, I know you mentioned that there's a 6-month gap. I said, yeah. And she's just like, that 6-month gap, because it pops up on her notification. So she's like, I know it's only 6 months, and it looks closer to the you now, she said, than the one 2 years ago. And then she said, but you're still different. She said, you're different. She noticed that it's still not the me now, right? That she's interacting with. And so I said, well, a lot's gone down in 6 months. Because she's not caught up. She doesn't know. She doesn't know all the details. I haven't shared that much with her about what's happened in the last 6 months. But I know that a lot has gone down in the last 6 months for me personally, emotionally, in terms of my healing. So to hear her even say that it's just 6 months, it's like, I don't remember if she said drastic. I'm gonna have to ask her. Just enough of a notice that even though I look closer to how I look now, I still present differently. So it just made me think again about change and how quickly we can grow potentially, right? If we're aware. And then I saw a picture of my nephew this weekend, and I got cheered up. My loved one's son, because he's so big. He's in high school now. I mean, I saw him last summer. How fast they grow in 1 year. And the twins are going to be 3rd graders. Like, wow. Just I'm just in awe. I'm just in awe. I'm just in awe at the rate of our expansion. And how unique it is. And how beautiful it is. And how challenging it is with each discovery, right? With each moment of awareness. For each of them, wherever they are on their journey. And how excited I am, for what's gonna come for them. What discoveries they'll make, what challenges they'll overcome, their first love, their, discoveries about themselves, really, I think is what I'm more excited about. To see who they become. To see who they become. Even from a distance, to see who they become. And how they're as much of a part of this process, this puzzle piece called life for all of us, and giving them the liberty to pick the path they want to pick for themselves without imposing with the hopes that they know they can always change their mind, to realign themselves. They can let go of old beliefs, religious beliefs, societal beliefs, to realign themselves. Habits, behavioral changes. I hope they know. I hope they know they can do that. At least through my example, That's what my wish is. But anyways, is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learned to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us. In whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth, this just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me.